Hey everybody, welcome to News by News. I'm Mike Sandoval, and today we have the cast and director of Lodo, which is going to be premiering at the Pasadena Playhouse for the Pasadena Film Festival this Saturday, June 25th. Everybody introduce yourselves and tell them who you play in the short.
I'm Daniel Mora. I play Don Cirilo.
Hi, I'm Marita De Le Torre, and I play the mother in Lodo, and I also produced the film and I co-wrote the film.
Hi, my name is Laura Patalano. I play the grandmother, and she's a little bit of a magic woman.
My name is Alessandro Gentile. I'm the co-writer and director of Lodo.
So here's the good thing. Here on Muse, we've had Alessandro and Martina here before via Zoom, but now finally to have you both in person is great. Laura, well, we've talked to her so many times for Gente Fight and a bunch of other shows over the years. Daniel, you're new for us, so
I am.
You get the initiation of what Muse TV and Muse is going to be like.
Is that double shot, no chaser thing I heard about?
Well, that's after the interview. That's when we talk. That's when we talk and we do the bar scenes across the way. But no, I wanted to ask. Let's start with you, Daniel. What was it about the film that you had to be a part of it?
I knew Alessandro from before and Marita from the film festival, and they're excellent people, and I thought, well, anything involving them is going to be great. Then I got the script, and I loved it, and I said yes. And I heard the sandwiches were going to be good, so.
Okay. So that's all it takes. Some good food.
Well, that's the last straw, you know. There's always the last straw.
Exactly. And for Laura, since we got to talk to people we haven't talked to.
Oh, for a while, right?
Well, exactly. We haven't talked in a minute. But to play the grandma in this scene, in this amazing short, what was it about coming in and being able to be a part of telling this story?
Well, let me tell you something. Marita and I, we go back in time. Because when I just moved from New York to here, I met Marita, I don't remember, in some kind of a festival or something. So, and then after being talking for a while, she said like, oh, I have a short, and I think that you will be perfect for it. So she told me a little bit, and I said, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I will be interested in playing it. And then every year I used to say like, oh, what happened with this short? Tell the rest.
Yes, yeah. So year after year, because life would get in the way, and what I like to say is that Lodo happened when it was meant to happen, and everything about this short has been both serendipitous and pretty magical, including Laura's participation in it, because like she said, we met, and then she started talking, and after 3 minutes I said, I'm co-writing a short with my friend, and I think you're perfect for it. And then I remember coming home and I called Alessandro and I was like, I think I found the grandmother for our short. And he's like, oh my God, how did that happen? And I'm like, this woman. And then I sent him, I'm getting chills. I sent him her photo and he's like, she looks pretty perfect. I'm like, and you should just see her, like listen to her talk. And she's so talented. And so pretty much Laura never auditioned for this role. And then it was so cool. Yeah, it was so cool to write, like in every scene that we co-wrote, I would see Laura. I wouldn't see the little boy yet, but I would see, funny enough and magically enough, the little boy that we ended up casting in our visions. It was like that, someone that looked like that little boy. So I would write the scenes just thinking about Laura doing it. And then finally, it was one of the greatest moments because, of course, we went to trials and tribulations of getting everything and Laura's schedule. I was like, it has to be her. We didn't wait this long, and Alessandro was like, I'm with you. It has to be her, and she was our anchor. Daniel can tell you, although they always play and fight. That's why I'm in the middle.
She weighs me down like an anchor. Exactly.
You're looking at set. This was life on set for us. But
actually, you know what? That's one of the things that, frankly, I enjoyed most about this shoot is working with Laura, because she's a sweetheart, but she can also take it and dole it out, and she's a wonderful human being. So yeah, that was a great part of it.
Yeah.
So that's when the wrestling came into play, and it almost turned into a.
Yeah, fortunately, it's dos de tres caídas, so she got the first one.
When he doesn't fight with me, I say, Is something wrong? Did I something that you don't love me anymore? You're not fighting with me. What's that?
But it's not fight. It's love taps.
That's what they always say. But Alessandro, we have to talk with you. Central City.
Yeah, SGV, baby.
So it's good to invite people from the San Valley, since I grew up in Rose Beach.
Definitely.
Sitting next door, so we have to give you a shine.
Of course.
Local kid. What was it about the movie and the short story that you had to tell us on screen?
Yeah, so first off, shout out to SGV. We were just talking earlier, right? This used to be a Nautilus gym, right? I used to work out in here before. It was crazy. And now it's, these offices and a beautiful place. But, my aunt wrote a short essay called El Alma de Lodo. And it was basically a Mexican fable story about a boy who gets haunted by the mud of a cemetery. And it was really interesting, one page, but very descriptive. And she wrote it with her son. And it was very detailed, and it was really beautiful. It caught my attention. And at that time, Marita and I had just finished filming a film. It was Botes al Amanecer, which went on to Cannes and actually won many awards. And that's how we first met. And we wanted to continue kind of like that mojo. And then we formed a production company, and the rest is history, right? 6 years ago. This was all 6 years ago. But we knew the story. There was something there, like a backbone to it. But we, for cinema, you kind of have to embellish it a little bit. Sometimes like a short story just doesn't, even like in a book too. You're getting words from the book, or like description from a book, but it's not cinematic all the way. It's it's good for imagination, but sometimes you have to embellish and kind of flesh it out. And so we got together and we started kind of like putting stories together. And originally we had someone else involved that was kind of part of the project, but we decided to take it into our own hands and kind of make it more of a Latino film than just a magical realistic film about a kid that goes Alice in Wonderland style, right? So we knew right away that we wanted to keep it organic. And and our aunt was, she was completely open with it. She really loved the script, and the process was amazing because we were able to kind of put together a story. And having her visually in our mind already, it helps so much to write, because you already get inspired of how you're placing her in this setting, right? And once the little boy kind of like fell in our lap, because we knew that was the last piece, was to find this little boy, because we couldn't pull the trigger without having like this boy. And because we were getting these auditions, they were just kind of like, okay, all this just really Nickelodeon kind of these kids or Filipino kids trying to speak Spanish, and you're like, dude, and and luckily we went to Operation Street Kids, and they helped us find 4 kids, and Jaden was the one that just popped out. But it's nice to like kind of start putting you start getting the visuals and get really inspired to like direct and kind of move into like the next process, like how to like shot list it and kind of do the shooting process. So I don't know if that answers your question. I was kind of going all over the place. Does it answer your question?
Answer the question, because that's the one thing a lot of people don't know about the film process. Is the back work that takes just before you can start a camera, before you hit one, or it used to be one reel of film, but now it's all digital. So once you hit that SD card, or hard drive in some way,
that's what you got.
Yeah. Millions of dollars. It takes forever, and it never goes.
Yeah, and so for us, it's like it seemed like the film gods were on our side. It was kind of like it was meant to be when it was supposed to happen. 5 years ago, we probably wouldn't have done the same film. Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same. It would have been a completely different film, and like who knows, it might not have been as impactful as it is now. So it gave us time to like sit on it, let it marinate, really kind of hone in on like the dialogue properly, really dig into like our own personal lives, because a lot of it's our personal lives in there. We're putting like 30-40% of what we've experienced as individuals, having lost people, loved ones in our life, and just putting that in there and kind of letting it just kind of marinate and sit and just percolate. And that's what created the magic in the film. It wasn't just hey, we have these words, and it was the acting, it was everybody, all the elements that came together, all at once. So yeah.
And then the pandemic happened, and then the film happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so going through such a process like that, it's like it puts everything in perspective, right? And I know you've heard this over and over, and everyone's just like, whoa, like people are like, selling their homes, going on RV trips now, like just living off the land, just really drastic change. And we're like, hey, why not? Why not, right? It was time. It was like, I had just lost, my father-in-law to COVID. And next was my aunt, and they're both dedicated in the film, and my uncle was there the other night. It was just like powerful just to see him. He came again to watch it and like see the dedication to his wife. I'm like, dude, it's just hard. And she'll tell you her story too, but it's just like we all, it's very personal, and it brings up, it's a deep film, and it brings up conversations, like what would happen if you lose a loved one? It could happen anytime, any day. So the idea is like really like the idea of the film is to bring up the conversation in yourself. Like, okay, well, let's love the people in our life that we love as much as we can to the fullest,
And that's the one thing we had mentioned when we had talked about before. It brought up for me was a lot of memories because I lost my mom 15 years ago. And you always hear from grandparents, great grandparents that your family's always around you and they always stick with you no matter what. And sometimes I still get that when I do something wrong. I get that chuckle on the back of the head. And I feel it. But it's like, that's the thing, is keeping their memories alive and keeping that. And that's what this film really does show. What was it when you're delving into this, not only as actors, producers, and delving into that type of subject matter? What was it like for you?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most powerful messages in the film. There's several really beautiful elements to it. It's the what Alessandro was talking about, how you can lose. There's a theme of losing a loved one unexpectedly, which is what happened to me. From one day to the other, my little baby brother at 21 years of age was gone. So to overcome the pain of that, to overcome the hollowness, right, that you feel, this empty hole forever in your life. What a weird life after losing someone so close like your mother, and then seeing it through the eyes of a 10-year-old. Just the heart wrench of that. It was a difficult and ambitious thing to capture that. Then to also capture the two realms meeting, when the spiritual realm comes to the physical realm and lets us know. We wanted to very delicately capture that. And then that beautiful scene with Laura bringing in that medicine, our native medicine that we hold so dear in our culture, and how to capture that authentically and beautifully from a space of spirituality, and not only from, not only let's do the scene about, this cleanse. It was so much deeper than that. And then finally that wonderful, I remember writing it with Alessandro, and we were like, that's it. That wonderful thing that happens, what you just said, it's a chancla or a reminder, a number that you see that they send those messages of connection. And I wanted to, and Alessandra was with me, I wanted to have that moment where she says, be happy. Be happy. I'm telling you to be happy. It is your almost duty of living this beautiful life and being happy for me now that I'm in that realm, because I get that message from my brother and from so many loved ones that have moved on unexpectedly or a short time. So all of those messages we wanted to capture and do it in a beautiful, unique way to the film. And it was, there it was in our little hands given to these guys. And I tell you that we shot in October when all of that magic is happening, where all that spirituality is happening. Yep, we felt it was, yeah. And the energies that were there, I'm telling you, it was like a transfer of beautiful energy that was actually being captured in the film, but I tell you, happening in the film. Like, we always say as well that Not Here is two people that did two cameos, and it was an embarrassment of riches to have those two other cast members come in and do these cameos, but also our crew, who was so dedicated to the authenticity down to the detail of the Comanche warrior in the scene is the peoples of Brownsville, Texas. When it wasn't Brownsville, Texas, when it was whatever, Tejas land that it was, when it was Mexico, when it was, Aztlan, it was the Comanches that were there. And that Comanche outfit was to the year, to the T of that dream sequence. So was the dress of the Tia Tati in the script. So, what can I tell you? It was like, I always like to say this, we shot at the time when the veil is thin, and we felt it then, and we keep feeling the magic that was created by these guys and all of us, all the crew. Yeah.
Awesome. And that's the one thing that, now that pretty much talked about the film, we already know, gotta go watch it on Saturday. But the one thing the one thing I love about it is the fact that it's a Latino film, made by Latinos. And it depicts it in a bright, positive light. Because we've seen already what's been out there. And it's just like...
Tell me about it. I'm always a bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I was an actor in Hollywood, imagine me as a cholo. Yeah, like nobody would even friggin' do it. They'd be like, what the hell? and it just wouldn't work. But this is the type of films that need to be coming out, that need to be seen, that need to be represented. When it comes to representation now, I mean, it's getting better. But it's slow. But it's
it's getting better, babe.
Yeah, we still have a long ways to go. But I've been an actor for 30-some years, and every decade we're always, this is our decade, because, there was 2 things that came out. We got all excited. But after 30-some years of acting, looking back, it is now becoming our time. Now it really is. But we still got a long way to go. I'd give an example of a show where it's supposed to be 2 tios that are like those tios borrachos, esos desmadrosos, at a wedding, and they cast 2 actors who are from Puerto Rico, and I don't want to get into it, but there's a big difference between un norteño y un puertorriqueño. But it's getting better.
Yeah, it is. A little bit. And Laura, definitely, I want to hear your thoughts on this, because...
She usually plays Iranian, right?
Well...
I pay what?
Iranian from Iran. Like, you were on one of the...
I can play many things, right?
But perfect. You were on one of the Netflix popular shows,
Yes,
Gentified.
Gentified, yeah.
And now, we were all looking forward to a season 3, and then
And we won't have season.
we'll see a season 3. We just saw it end, and though it was a good ending for considering for 2 seasons, and I wish it would have been more.
Yeah, because we could explore a lot more for every character that it was there, what was behind, and the family situation, and a bunch of things that they could explore, but they decided not to do it. But right now in a new show, where there are 3 networks involved, that is ABC's Signature, Disney Plus, and Hulu. And it's in post-production, and we will be airing on August 12th at Hulu. So this is a show of Latinos. It's nothing like this because it's a hardcore comedy, and This Fool is the title, and it's 2 comedians that are amazing, and another actor that are really, really funny. But it's Latinos with some people that are not Latinos, but that are great actors. And one of the things is a very dysfunctional family, that if I have to compare with something that we have right now on the American market, will be like a Shameless. Very dysfunctional families in our way, but it's funny, really, really funny.
I can't wait.
And I play Esperanza, the very sweet, passive-aggressive, more aggressive than passive mom that has to control everything and everyone. And it's really nice. So I really have a lot of faith that DC will be like a show that people be looking after, and that we hopefully get more than 1 season, 2, 3, 4, I don't know. But it's happening more and more, so that's a good thing. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
From my perspective, that I'm working more than ever now that I'm getting fatter, uglier, and older.
Finally hit the demographic.
Yes, baby, I'm booking more than ever. Why not? Who cares? You know, right? That's what it matters. Exactly.
Choice is you can be old and fat and not working, or old and fat and working. So
And ugly. Ugly. The ugly part.
Stay inspired. Stay inspired.
Oh my God. These two.
Final question. Lead us to
Yeah.
Alessandro, the director.
Yeah.
Saturday, Pasadena Playhouse.
Yeah.
Town debut of this short film.
Yeah.
What does it feel like, and what can you tell the Muse by Muse audience in order to get them out, to be a part, and to really, because the more people that's there, the more people watch.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it be even a next topic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we're screening at the Langley on Saturday, 5:55. I think it's block 11. I'm not sure. I gotta check that. But for me, it's like, it's coming full circle. It's like you're a boy growing up in the SGV, with imaginations. Even though I had like two sides to my upbringing, I was an athlete, and I was also very creative because of my mom. She was always she was an artist, and from Mexico, and just was always influenced by what she's done art wise. But it's kind of full circle now, coming back to my hometown. This is where I hung out when I was in high school. This is like Old Town Pasadena. So it's like it would mean a lot to us if you guys came out to like support and watch and just support Latino films and stories, because we're like unique. It's not your cliche story. It's something different, and it makes you think, and you go away with something from the film. It's not just your generic short film about East Los gangs and things like that. So and of course we're up for Audience Choice Awards, so that'd be nice to get the votes and just support. So, but yeah, for me, I'm really really happy to be showing here, and we showed in Santa Barbara as well. That was like my alma mater as far as film school goes, and so I feel like I hit both targets pretty hard, and really excited about Pasadena and kind of doing that. So yeah.
So I'm going to invite you. You're our first interview and guest on Muse by Muse here at the new office.
Yeah.
So it's great to have people.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
To have people from the Central Valley here, since I grew up in this area. This is my home as well, and hence the reason why we're here, because this is our home. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for
No,
stopping
thank
with
you for
us.
having me.
Really appreciate you being the first ones to come in and to be able to be a part of this on Muse by Muse. And if
Thanks for having us.
you want to take a look at this short, don't forget this Saturday, June 25th. Take a look at the Lemley or the Pasadena Film Festival website to be able to find out the show times again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can also, just for the handle too, you can also find us at Lodo Short Film, and actually our ticket link is right on our bio. So just click on that, follow us, and then just be informed of what we're doing in the future too. Yeah.
And Laura says she's gonna give everybody who shows up $1. So
I don't know about that, babe.
$1 or 100?
No, the $100 has to come from you. Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.